Imagine filming your normal workday, posting it online, and getting fired for it. Now, we've covered this video before on this channel, but it turns out the internet has just not stopped convincing people to film their work life for clout. We need to talk about this day in the life trend and how people are trying to turn their 9 to 5 into content. And I just found a video breaking this down. Let's get ready to react to Day in the Life, the TikTok trend getting people fired. Video by Sid's Internet.
Almost any job you can think of has a day in the life video by someone on TikTok.
Day in my life as a private chef. Day in the life of a restaurant marketer.
Day in the life.
Day in the life.
But not every job is meant to have this type of content arc because these videos have gotten a lot of people fired from their jobs.
I love my job. I would have never
We saw
done
her
anything to jeopardize
last
it.
time.
This is a PSA to not post day in the life, get ready with me, come to work with me when you are really working.
I'm gonna keep posting these until I'm rich and famous and don't have to work anymore.
So if you don't know what a day in my life video is, it's where someone films the intimate details of their day-to-day life. Since most people spend a majority of their days working, a huge portion of these videos show people's work day. These day in my life videos span so many different jobs and industries. A lot of creators have built communities this way, and it can be very helpful for people considering different career paths. I also find them pretty entertaining. I want to preface that there's nothing inherently wrong about wanting to build a platform or share what your day-to-day life is like in that day-to-day life, including your job. And in doing so, especially when showing certain work environments, requires a level of discretion and caution that a lot of people aren't exercising until it's too late. The most recent and viral case where this happened was the Mac store manager at LAX airport getting fired after.
If you didn't see our last video, we actually talked about this same incident right here. And it's, if you haven't seen it yet, just brace yourself because, I mean, it's sad, but it is life. Technically, you did kind of mess up, but let's just keep watching.
Okay, so let's start with the Mac employee situation since this is the most recent and what's kind of brought this issue back into discussion.
I love my job. I would have never done anything to jeopardize it.
Come to work with me at LAX airport, timestamps included. Hammering down the authenticity with too much information. 9 a.m. get on the shuttle. 9:45 go through TSA. Oh my god, we straight up just saw her badge.
Yeah.
Going up the.
This is what I'm talking about. If you watched this with me last time, you'll see everything's very detailed. And you're pretty much telling someone how to get access to you if you were to go to work and how to even come across income, as you're going to come to find out.
Later, getting money. Cash. Look at that. All that cash. Oh, and a whole receipt that we could pause and zoom into if we wanted to.
Yeah, you gotta stop by and say hi. What's your name? I'm Jenny. I'm Bree. Nice to meet you.
What are we looking at?
Showed us the entire spreadsheet of whatever the heck she was noting.
Yeah, I still can't get over this. Like, the fact that she doesn't understand how this could be a problem for her job, not just her, but her job as well, and anyone who potentially even works at, or maybe even does half the things she does. I just can't believe that she's not actually understanding how this can be a problem. Your social media presence or your day in the life posts that are going to get you engagement is not worth more than the job you have or worth more than the money they have on hand at your job. Think about this. This is not I don't even know what I'm saying right now. This is just crazy to even think about.
She got fired. Her videos have come under a lot of scrutiny for showing personal information. As we watched through a previous day in my life video, what do you notice might be a problem for her to be sharing on TikTok, if anything? Timestamps, not necessary. Okay, TSA pre-check. Showing yourself going through TSA, showing your badge. 2 p.m. you have a meeting. It looks like it's on Zoom, and if we were to zoom in, we could probably see the first and last names of these people. Showing the daily sales spreadsheet. Showing where the extra
That's just not any of our business. We don't need to know this. I understand, you don't, here's the thing. She didn't have to actually show the chart. She could have shown herself writing on the chart and then saying what she was doing, right? By posting a caption or something like that. That would have easily, it wouldn't have been that bad. But I wonder if she would have kept her job if she didn't show all the details of certain things, right? I'm really curious.
inventories kept.
So I'm checking the end of day numbers right now.
and it looks like my opener did $912 in her tip.
Okay, we get all the way to 9 p.m. where we're closing the register. Why are you showing this, ma'am? What time you can expect the money, cash money, to be taken out of the store? 9:15 p.m.
Hello? Alright, I'm out of here. It's the end of the day.
And that shows us where you probably took the cash. People are saying that everything she shared in her videos are a
Too
huge
much.
security risk,
Yeah.
and that's why she got fired.
Too
I
much.
love my job. I would never do anything to jeopardize it. Get ready with me while I help you rob my store. I mean, do an open and closing shift.
You literally showed us the safe at the LAX airport.
Yeah.
You showed us where it's at. You showed us how to get there. You showed us where you park. You showed us your bags. You showed us the bus.
Now, the next.
And not just that, also the times that these things are occurring at. If anyone's paying attention, you just gave them the blueprint. You really did. I've said this before. This don't make no sense. But, there are a lot of people who think clout and social media approval and validation matters. So they're willing to do certain things like this, even if it gets them fired.
Manager could be in danger because they know where the manager picks up the money and what times, the bag they use to walk it through the airport, and that they're alone doing all of this. She made a mess. I could only imagine that airports have very strict safety and security standards for their employees. So not only is she a risk to the airport, she's a risk to herself because someone could have been watching that and knew her whole schedule. If you've watched.
You know what I also thought about? You potentially even put other people in jeopardy who may have the same kind of routine, right? Now no one knows. What if someone's doing that same stuff and then all of a sudden they're in danger because someone saw your video, which gave them the blueprint to basically get what they need from you or from the company. This is just all bad at the end of the day.
I'm all about internet safety. Post your content, do your thing, but be strategic about your personal safety. Sharing the specifics of time and location for a place you go on a routine basis, not great for protecting yourself online. The creator a few days later made an explanation video. She said that Mac was very supportive of her making content and encouraged her to do so, and that the LAX airport is actually who fired her. And they fired her because she violated their social media policies.
Yeah.
She said she didn't put the airport at risk. They didn't ask her to take down the videos, which is why they're still up, but other people very much beg to differ. People who are airport employees themselves are basically saying, no, what she posted was a huge security risk and violation for the airport.
She's very lucky if she gets away with just getting fired and she has no other repercussions, because I've worked alongside the FAA and they do not play when it comes to safety, specifically with protocols that are that specific. You have to be very aware of what you can and can't do.
I think you'll see in these other scenarios that the trouble often comes with a mix of violating employees' social media policies and violating other privacy, confidentiality, and security standards. This has happened to a lot of nurses, doctors, and medical personnel over the years. My immediate thought when it comes to medical personnel is HIPAA. If something in a video that you post online compromises patient confidentiality, then that can be bad news for not only your job, but also for your license. And from what it also seems is that a lot of hospitals and medical facilities have their own employees' social media policies.
I made a TikTok at work that went viral. My job basically fired me for it. So that TikTok had over 800,000 views and like 6,000 likes. So what do y'all think? Do I?
This is just very unfortunate at the end of the day. Like I said, I understand people, because sometimes it can even play as a form of motivation for people. So I understand why people would want to do the day in the life, because, if they were on the other end and they wanted to get into something in regards to like what the lady was doing at the airport or even this, like, it's good to see people actually working in that field and to get a great, to become slowly educated about what it is you want to be doing. So if someone's showing you that and showing you what you would be doing on a daily basis, if you were to also pursue that career or that job opportunity, then it actually makes sense and it's very beneficial. But I feel like there is a small little gray area sometimes, right? But at the same time, if you read a company's policy and the policy says do not show behind the scenes information or don't post your work life on social media, you got to make sure you're actually reading that. And I feel like sometimes people don't end up reading this. I'm not talking about this lady right here. I'm talking about people in general.
Restore the TikTok that I deleted that went viral, or do I just continue to try and fly under the radar?
Never involve work with social media, period. You shouldn't have made it. We all sign a confidentiality agreement. Why would you destroy your career over a TikTok? Any workplace, regardless of a career choice, is grounds for automatic dismissal. I'm a teacher, and if I made a TikTok at work, I'm sure I'd be fired too. Companies have policies. Plus, you're being paid to be a nurse, not an influencer.
See, but that's what I'm talking about. Not all nurses are posting anything wrong, right? They're not posting anything wrong a lot, like some of the times. I'm not gonna say a lot of times because I don't know, but sometimes certain things can be allowed. I just feel like if they go too far, then it's not going to be, it's some stuff should be kept off social media, right? This is true. We can all agree on that. But letting people in a little too much, it's not only bad for you, but sometimes people don't want to see, or people don't want, or companies don't want to show people the behind the scenes procedures of how everything works. And it's confidential because it's supposed to be kept within the team.
Recruiter called and was like, "You've been terminated." And all she said was that it was a TikTok. And that TikTok was just a whiteboard. And I don't even think it said the hospital. People just picked up on the hospital based on the colors and the font of the whiteboard. So do with that what you want. But I will say, I do not think a trending TikTok is worth your job.
You can't even take a picture that has the paint on the walls at my hospital. They're super strict on social media. That's like actually insane how people can pinpoint that down so easily. It makes sense. A lot of people spend a lot of time there.
Here's what they will tell you when you are marched into HR, because I've been through these with employees. You are on company time, even if you're on your lunch break and you're clocked out.
And this is the point that, I made it before, but when you're at work, you are a representation of that company. So even if it's not bad what you're showing on social media, if it seems that you're more focused on social media, that can give them grounds to get rid of you. If it seems that you're not being professional, that can be grounds for it. But at the end of the day, like the previous girl said, it's not worth it. Social media clout is not worth losing the job or the career that you're pursuing or that you're already in and established in. It would suck to lose it over a social media post.
Still company time. You are there to do a job as an employee, not to make videos. You are on company property. Even if you're outside the hospital, you're in the parking garage, you are still on company property. And 99% of the time, it is a violation of their social media policy.
Yeah.
Read your social media policies. You will be surprised at how well those are written to protect the employer and to give you zero chance to be able to do this.
This has also happened to teachers. Teacher talk is huge. Teachers are underpaid and often come out of pocket for their students' supplies. So a lot of teachers who have built a following on TikTok are able to supplement their own income and even use that money from TikTok to get more supplies for their students, which I think is great. But where student safety and school policies are concerned, posting too much or posting the wrong things has led to some teachers losing their jobs. There's a very well-known situation where a teacher got on live during class and had his students taking out his braids for him, and he got fired. It was the topic of a lot of debate. Some people didn't think he deserved to lose his job at all. Some people really did. Teachers have to abide by FERPA, which protects students' educational records and personal information. So there's a lot of risk in gray area when it comes to posting students online. Beyond that, most schools have social media policies that don't allow teachers to post their students on their personal social media accounts. If I was a parent and that was my daughter taking out her teacher's hair on live, I would be very upset for two reasons. Keep my non-existent child off the internet and go to a salon if you need your hair done. That's just my opinion though.
Teacher.
You have to know time and place though. Like what he was doing, it doesn't help the child's education. And I think that's what people are not quite understanding. Was he doing something super bad? No, but you are on company time or you're on your, on the clock. So whoever you're representing, they need to see that you're being professional, and it does not appear that you're being professional at the time. Even though that occurred, I know it wasn't super crazy what you were doing, but or what he was doing, but we do got to keep that in mind. But sometimes it takes instances like that to open people's minds up and help them realize maybe I shouldn't just be filming on the job. Not wishing anyone lose their job or anything like that. Wish the person the best of luck, you know what I mean? But it is what it is.
Stop posting your students on this app. I ask, why are we showing our students? And you respond with, oh, the parents signed a media release. That media release is for these schools' official purposes, which means the yearbook, posts that go out to parents, or maybe the school's official Facebook posts where they're not naming individual children. Even if you did have permission, it is unethical for you to post these children to the internet.
Parents, would you be upset if you saw your child pop up on this app because their teacher posted them? Yes, I'd be very upset for my hypothetical.
Because you would expect your child to be learning or doing something productive, I think that kind of crosses the line. Right? Would you agree? Let me know in the comments.